Do you see any opportunity for tools like AI?
Machine learning, they can what they can do, they integrate temperature, humidity.
Public perception that all trash from food industry actually gets into livestock and poultry feed. Hello, this is Dr. Radhakrishna Pallipadi, representing Chemlife Innovations, a startup based in Bangalore. We focus on supporting the stakeholders in the livestock and poultry industry for enhancing the productivity and maximizing profit through innovative concepts, products, and knowledge sharing. The Grandmaster podcast series is an initiative to meet the legends, thought leaders, and experts in the industry. In this podcast, our guest is very well known animal nutritionist of South India, a successful entrepreneur, advisor to the industry, Dr. Nataraja HB. Dear Doctor, welcome to this episode of the Grandmaster series. To begin with, Doctor, could you please briefly tell about your educational background and the professional journey so far?
Good morning, I am Dr. Nataraja. I graduated from Bangalore Veterinary College in 1993 and I pursued master degree in animal nutrition and I passed out from 96. After the post-graduation, I joined a animal feed company and I served for around 8 to 10 years before I started the business. Basically, I was an animal nutritionist and I had a passion for animal nutrition. I took a consultant, consultancy profession as very seriously, and we started our business in 2007. And I was consultant for many feed companies in India and also for many integration companies in India.
Nice knowing this, Doctor. I think you have got an elaborate experience of the industry and you're actually leading a company. Whatever learning you have got, I think you must be experimenting that in Higain Feeds now.
Yeah, like the starting a feed company was my dream since my college days when I was in doing post graduation, and it made me like why can't be like actually as a veterinarian, as an animal nutrition, why can't I start a feed business so that at least actually I can I can work here at freedom and I can bring lot of I can from the whatever ideas I can have, I can definitely it can help pass it on to the farmers.
Yeah, I think you are actually demonstrating what good thing can happen in the industry.
Thank you.
Yes. Doctor, during modern days of poultry farming, the concept of feed hygiene is in focus. Could you please explain this concept and how maintaining good feed hygiene actually improves the feed conversion ratio?
Yeah, feed hygiene is an important aspect of modern poultry operations. I can say modern poultry feed milling, and because basically it ensures better microbial control and physical safety of the feed, starting from sourcing to consumption. In India, being a tropical country, actually we are where hot and high humidity and high temperatures are common, and the contaminated feed is a common feature, and it leads to the poor feed hygiene. This poor feed hygiene actually can decrease the performance by 10 to 15% as per the many studies conducted in the universities and also in the private. This this poor feed hygiene especially results in it affects the nutrient digestion, absorption, and also it affects the gut health, liver health, leading to immunosuppressions and poor gut health. And this can lead to increased incidence of many diseases like coccidiosis, necrotic enteritis, and also which in turn can affect the flock performance and reduce profitability and increase mortality also. Also, it increases the usage of more antibiotics in animal feeding. So, better feed hygiene, especially in modern feed milling, by way of actually better moisture control, better storage conditions at the feed mill, and also use of good quality and effective mold inhibitors, organic acids, can definitely help in sustaining feed quality, as also it leads to the better food hygiene.
So everything starts with maintaining feed hygiene, right, yes, Doctor? Yes. So in connection with this, there is a general public perception that all trash from food industry actually gets into livestock and poultry feed. Uh, in this context, I'm talking about ingredients like maize, soya, or sunflower cake, and something which is added recently, DDGS. What is your comment on this, doctor?
This is, I can say, this is a completely misconception. Actually, the like whatever the food industry waste is going to the animal for the poultry feeding or animal feeding, is a purely, I can say, misconception, and it's not true, because basically animal feed industry uses the raw material which doesn't compete to the in human nutrition. But as I said, like the maize, as you said, maize and soybean meal, sunflower cake are the major, along with oil, vegetable oils, are the major raw material for the poultry feeding, and each farms around 80 to 80% of the total raw material inputs. Now of late, there is a, I can say, transition from the animal feeding. It is like actually earlier we are used to use. There is a shift in using raw materials. Means animal feed industries earlier you was using agro-industrial byproducts like brands and all, rice bran, wheat bran, some extractions. But nowadays, I think it is moving towards actually we are using more of industrial byproducts like rice DDGS, maize DDGS, and maize gluten. All these which are from the starch industry. And I think there is no unless actually the any feeding of the raw materials is purely based on scientific basis and based on its nutrient professional. Definitely, whenever we are using the merits and demerits are considered, and its anti-nutritional factors, any contamination and its effect on the poultry health is considered, then only we are actually put into the, we will be using the those raw materials or which we are called unconventional or alternate ingredients rationally in poultry feeding. Before few years back, I think definitely I can say about like this DDGS now, which has become a like main raw material in the animal feed industry, especially Indian feed industry. This was like a byproduct from the ethanol industry, and due to the government policy, the change in government policy, a lot of ethanol industries came into the industry, and now ethanol these byproducts are available at much affordable price and with better quality also. Earlier, ethanol producers were mainly focusing on ethanol output, but they were not considering the quality on byproducts. But these days, when there is some awareness in the market, so that they are also able to now they by employing good technologies, newer technologies, they were able to give not only produce a good quality ethanol, also they are able to give decent quality byproducts which can fit for the poultry feeding. And especially, and only thing, rational usage of this DDGS and all definitely can help poultry not only in economics, also it can it can increase the profitability also, and without affecting the performance.
Okay, I got your point. I mean, you have clear understanding of what should be the quality of the ingredient, and there is a system also to accept or reject these ingredients. However, the external factors like moisture, humidity, storage practices may still affect the quality of the feed ingredient. Therefore, coming back to the same question, when tons and loads of feed ingredients gets into the feed factory, what are the checks and balances that are set up there to receive the good quality material only?
There is definitely a standard protocol is followed across the industry. I can say like the first test is definitely people will go for the testing the moisture. Everybody has some moisture test they will be doing when they receive any raw material, and definitely high moisture materials either they are rejected at the spot above 14 to 15% moisture, either it's a grains or it's any vegetable raw materials. Second thing is the by way of like physical inspection is that is a common thing they do. We call it the organoleptic test by taste, color, smell, and all. Actually, these things are they take a prominent place in the first when the materials are available at the feed factory. The third is actually the microbial test, but I think microbial tests are especially they do for animal proteins because they are naturally from the the sourcing is sourcing and the way the processing is done. I think that there will be a lot of contamination can happen. We mainly do microbial tests for the animal proteins, but some labs, and this is a little bit time consuming and cumbersome also. Some people have good microbial labs. They do mold and mycotoxin contamination regularly for screening the raw materials. Yeah.
I also understand based on my experience, it is not just moisture that need to be looked into, but actually the water activity is something that people should understand. What is your input on this?
See, controlling moisture or checking moisture, it can't be. We can't say like actually it's 100% phosphorus, because actually in a system in a countries like India where hot and humidity conditions are more, and that the fluctuation in the day and night temperatures are very common, there can be condensation. It's in the either in the raw material storage, or it's in the silos, or it's maybe in the godowns, or it's maybe outer production of the feed. Actually, during the transit, it can definitely there can be a water activity there, and there's moisture pocket will form actually, and this moisture pocket once it forms, and it like very difficult to there will be definitely there will be mold growth, and there will be mycotoxin production will be there, and once mycotoxins are produced, it's impossible to destroy once the mycotoxins form. Therefore, we need to be very careful while accepting the raw material, and also we need to take care of the storage. We need to take care of the by using good quality raw materials. Also, we need to use a good effective mold inhibitors with organic acids to prevent this mold growth and further contamination with mycotoxins.
Yeah, you mentioned about the mold inhibitor. It can be organic acids, it can be new generation mold inhibitors. But where it should start acting, when it is mixed with the feed, or in the gut, or throughout?
See, basically a good mold inhibitor actually, and good mold inhibitor, you should act actually at two stages. I think one is during the physical storage of the feed, and during within the bird's digestive system. One like when in the especially the mold inhibitors actually which are used in the feed storage are mainly propionate acid or acetic acid. Mainly it's propionate acid. These propionates by using propionate acid, we can, I think, control around 85 to 90% of the mold growth actually as per the studies. And when compared to the untreated samples, where and we can like the shelf life can increase successfully, we can keep the raw materials without any problem for the 2 months. Whereas like actually but when compared to the untreated samples which are not treated with any mold inhibitor, they will not, there will be, we can't store them not more than 15 to 20 days of time.
And these mold inhibitors also will take care of pathogenic bacteria?
Yes, this may especially the short chain fatty acids like formic acid, acetic acid, then the butyric acid. They reduce the pH in the gut, and by that actually they inhibit the growth of pathogenic organisms, especially E. coli, then Salmonella. They mainly affect their effect is more with gram-negative organisms compared to gram-positive organisms.
Okay. Thank you, doctor. Do you see now this is a modern technology time? Do you see any opportunity for tools like AI for assessment and prevention of mold growth in the feeding mediums?
Yes, I have come across in some presentations and all. I have come in some conferences and all, and many people they talk about AI now in the modern feed milling. Only that actually by using sensor technology and real time data they are analyzing, especially to forecast the risk. Second is the image recognition, especially in the silos and all, so that actually they can see the how the maize quality, grain quality by taking the pictures and all. Then the third thing is actually it's a machine technology, by machine tool technology, by machine learning. They can do, they integrate temperature, humidity. Because humidity is like above 14 to 15, definitely it will lead to the mold formation and mycotoxin contamination. And by integrating humidity, temperature, then the storage spare time and all, they will integrate the technology, and they will forecast actually on the base like the risk and all. And definitely this AI can be definitely I think it is now started, but in a long way definitely it has a scope, so that actually we can we can prevent the spoilage of the raw materials, costly raw materials. Also, then better feed hygiene can be maintained, which can in turn we can get the good for.
I think science of this mold inhibition and technology coming together will actually bring us a lot of exciting times ahead in the poultry industry.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you, doctor, for sparing your valuable time. The summary that I could realize is that the knowledge of mold inhibition and feed hygiene, the science part of it, and the new technology, combining these two, we are going to see exciting times ahead as far as poultry industry is concerned. Thank you so much.